I'm in the mood to talk about some 80s toys. Let's get into it. Hey, how's it going, my friends? My name is Joshua, and welcome back to the Nerd Life. Today, I want to talk to y'all about some of my favorite 80s toys of all time. So, I was born in 84, and my fondest memories are of the late 80s and into the 90s, and there were quite a few toys that I had and enjoyed that I want to talk to y'all about, starting with the WWF figures from LJN. Now, the figures that I remember having the most is Hulk Hogan and Roddy Piper, and I used to love making those guys wrestle. I would played with them constantly. I there was another figure that I had, but I can't remember who it was. I guess because I didn't play with it as much as I did with Piper and Hogan. But I even had a little toy wrestling ring. It wasn't WWF, but it was a generic one that my parents had bought me from a dollar store. But I didn't care because that was my that was the ring that I used. I still had fun with it. And the figures weren't articulated. They were basically PVC figures, but didn't make them any less fun for me. I still really enjoyed them. Uh, those figures are awesome. Now there was a whole bunch of them, and a lot of them that I didn't get to own, but from Bret Hart to Ted DiBiase, Honky Tonk Man, Junkyard Dog. There's just so many of them. But my fondest memories are with Piper and Hogan and wrestling with them in that little toy ring. Now I want to talk about Masters of the Universe. And my favorite ones that I had as a kid was He-Man and Skeletor, specifically the battle armor versions of He-Man and Skeletor. They had this gimmick where if you, while you were fighting them, if you hit this part on their chest, it was spring-loaded and it would shift to reveal a battle damage portion of the chest plate. And I absolutely loved those figures. I loved that gimmick because I love just getting them to hit each other with the swords and watching the battle damage show up. And I also had a figure. It was a character by the name of Manny Faces. For those who are not familiar with Masters of the Universe, the toy basically you press a button and the face. I think he had three different faces. It would change. It would move inside the helmet. I absolutely loved that gimmick as well. I used to I used to change his faces all the time. Just I would change it to like an angry face or whatever. I can't remember the exact faces, but I would change the face right before I would fight him with He-Man, and then I would change it again whenever I would pretend and get that he turned. He teamed up with He-Man to go against Skeletor. I would change his face again before that. I just had so many fun, so many, just had so much fun with those figures. I didn't have any of the vehicles, but I had a cousin who had the Battle Ram vehicle, and I used to play with that all the time whenever I go over to his house, along with along with his He-Man figures and stuff like that. It was an awesome toy line. The Battle Cat, there were so many villains like Moss Man. Just so many, that toy line was so awesome. But my favorites were the figures that I just talked about, along with I almost forgot. There was what was the name of that figure? I can't think of the figure's name or the character's name off the top of my head right now, but it was Clamp Trap or something like that. I had that one too, and I enjoyed playing with that as well. But just so many great memories with those toys. And the next thing I want to talk about is, of course, Transformers. Now, a lot of you already know that I love Transformers. They're my favorite things to collect. I have mostly modern Transformers, but I have a few vintage ones as well. My 2 or 3 as of right now, but I plan on getting more in the future. But ones that I had as a kid, my favorite ones were Optimus Prime, of course. I think he was one of everybody's favorites. I like the little Bumblebee mini bot, and Starscream was another one that I had that I really enjoyed playing with. Although I quickly lost some of the parts to him because a lot of the parts they had to take off before transforming him. So I ended up losing a couple of the jet fins. But and my absolute favorite though was Shockwave, because his alt mode was a freaking laser gun, and the toy had lights and sounds. So I would love playing with that thing, and most kids would probably go around acting like they're blasting away at the Autobots because Shockwave was a Decepticon, of course. But me, I pretended like I was going around shooting down space monsters and stuff, and my imagination was crazy. And then it turned into a badass looking robot. So I just had so much fun with that. Shockwave was definitely one of my favorite toys. As much as I loved Optimus Prime, I have to go with Shockwave as my favorite Transformer back then. He's still one of my favorite Decepticons next to Starscream. I think Starscream will always be my favorite. Nothing against Megatron, of course he's the leader, but yeah, I've always liked Starscream and Shockwave. But as I said with the other ones, there were just so many Transformers. A lot that I missed out on because I think the Shockwave I had was secondhand. But there's a lot I missed out on because they came out at the same year I was born. So there was quite a few that I missed out on, like Jazz and Sideswipe, that I would like to get into my collection. But I think those are pretty pricey. But anyways, the last thing I want to talk about in this video is one of my absolute favorite 80s toys of all time, and that is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I had so many of these as a kid. I had all 4 of the open shell turtles, where you open up the shell to store their extra accessories or weapons on the inside of them. Those were really fun. I had all 4 of the turtles. I had a couple of the Foot Clan members. I had Shredder and Bebop and Rocksteady, and man, I played the hell out of those. And of course, later on in life, I got so many different Raphaels because he was my favorite character. Because anybody who knows, they made so many variants of the turtles and all kinds of characters, but that's into the 90s. The 80s is what I'm talking about. But yeah, the open shell turtles, the Shredder, Bebop and Rocksteady, the little Foot Clan figures, I played with those all the time, constantly. I can't remember if it was released in 89 or 90 or maybe, but the pizza thrower. I remember having the pizza thrower. I just don't remember. It might not. I can't remember if it came out in 89 or 90. Maybe if any of y'all know, maybe you can help me out with that in the comments. But yeah, I had the pizza thrower and I absolutely love that thing. Just launching the disc at the bad guys. There's just so many. I didn't have any of the big play sets like the oh so famous Technodrome. I never had that. That was always, it was expensive even back then. But yeah, so many awesome, fun memories with the Ninja Turtles. I love the cartoon as well, of course. Maybe I'll do a video in the future all about the cartoon and the toy line. But yeah, that was my absolute favorite toys of the 80s. So yeah, I just got home from work. I'm tired. But yeah, I just been thinking about this for the past couple of days about toys I enjoyed as a kid from the 80s, and I was like, I want to talk about that. I want to share all this stuff with y'all. So, and that's exactly what I'm doing now. But yeah, the Ninja Turtles, absolute favorite. But that'll do it for this video. Let me know in the comments what some of your favorite 80s toys are. And also hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Guys, thank y'all so much for watching, and have an awesome day. Take care.